Think back to your own elementary days. Do you remember the specific worksheet you did on page 42 of your math workbook? Probably not. But do you remember the day you built a bridge out of toothpicks that actually held a dictionary? Or the day you dressed up like a pioneer and churned actual butter until your arms fell off? Science and social studies are the soul of the classroom, the subjects where kids finally get to ask why and how. But let's be real. They are also the subjects that get usually pushed to the last 15 minutes of the day or sacrificed entirely for another round of test prep. If you've ever had a vinegar and baking soda disaster or tried to explain a complex historical event to a 7-year-old, this episode is for you.
This is Teachers on the Loose.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Teachers on the Loose, the podcast where we turn teacher tales into belly laughs and life lessons. I'm Kristen.
I'm Celeste.
I'm Kelsey.
And I'm Allison.
Today we're getting messy. We're talking all about science and social studies. We're diving into our favorite hands-on experiments, how we integrate these subjects into our reading blocks when time is tight, and why they are often the parts of the day our students remember forever. Let's talk about how to keep the wonder alive without blowing up the classroom.
Before we dive into this episode, let's do a quick check-in. If your week was a historical era, would it be the Renaissance, full of new ideas, or the Great Depression, just trying to survive?
Ooh, full on Renaissance for me.
Why?
Full of new ideas. We're cranking, baby. Implementing all kinds of new stuff. Kids are getting it.
I agree. Renaissance for me too. Worked on some good writing stuff with a 4th grade class and 1st grade and kinder, and it's just been exciting to see lots of new things coming together.
Earlier this month, I would say Great Depression with conferences, Valentine's, parent-teacher conferences, report cards, and then really also on top of that, teaching the kids while being sick. So I would have said Great Depression. But I think I'm doing a lot better. So what are some other historical times besides Great Depression, Renaissance? What else
Well,
do you
you've
got?
got the medieval. You've got the Jurassic.
Jurassic.
Yeah, with the dinosaurs.
Right?
You've got like the Bridgerton era.
Oh,
The Victorian era.
Okay, some call it Victorian, some call it Bridgerton. Samesies.
yeah. I don't know.
The Wild West,
Oh, the Wild
Oh,
West.
that's a good one.
Industrial Revolution.
Did you
Era.
Google these?
You're so wise,
I was
Kelsey.
like, dang.
No.
I was
just-
coming up with them on
Just
my own.
smart. The Ice Age.
I see.
Okay, if I can't say Jurassic, you can't say Ice Age.
So yeah, after the Great Depression, whatever era that was, things are going good in my classroom. I'm on the uptick now of all the craziness, all the sickness, all the things after February. It's March now.
New month.
All is good, right?
New month, new you.
Yeah. Allison?
Yeah. So I would say I would have to jump on the Renaissance era bandwagon here because we just finished up with some testing for our 2nd graders, and I even got some really positive feedback from parents through emails saying that their student really had fun doing the testing and that they were excited to go to school the next day because they were going to get to do another test. So she just thanked me for making the testing process fun. And so to me, I feel like we were full of new ideas. We were having fun and getting ready. And right now I'm generating new ideas because we're going to be starting a new module on next week. So we're getting all of that ready to go. So yeah.
Love it.
Speaking of eras and going back in time, if you could time travel and go back in time and then bring one historical figure into your classroom for like a show and tell teachable moment.
Ooh,
Who
like
would-
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Yeah, but it would be like Toddle's Excellent Adventure. And
Okay.
we'd go back in time, find somebody super awesome, and then bring them to our class to teach them. Who you going to fetch?
Could I fetch Jesus? Is that a good answer?
Yeah.
I would love Jesus to be in my classroom.
He's,
Well,
and
now
I know. Well,
he's in
then
your
that's
classroom
like,
every day. Allison.
Yeah.
well, but then there's no separation of church and state. Then, if he's actually physically in my classroom, I wonder if that would be allowed. Probably not. But he's a historical figure.
is.
He really
Yeah.
is, yes.
Great answer.
After that great answer, I kind of feel this is silly, but dinosaurs. I know you said a person, But
They would eat you.
my kids are obsessed with dinosaurs.
Are you
Just
going to
get the
read them that
herb
book? We don't eat our classmates.
We
you
did
gonna
that at
make
the beginning of the year.
I know, but are you going to make sure to read it to the dinosaur?
I think so.
You know, dinosaurs don't really talk, and they're
I
not
know.
cute and cuddly like in the books, right?
I know, because we had toy day the other day. Yes, we brought toys to school. It was actually really nice. That was our class reward. Several of them brought dinosaurs. When we go to the library, they get dinosaur books, all things dinosaur. So I know I'm risking our lives, but I would bring back a dinosaur.
Wow.
We watched a dinosaur movie last night.
Which one?
Casey and I watched Jurassic World. I don't know.
Is that the newest one?
The newest one?
Oh, yeah. I saw
This
it.
little girl put a little dinosaur in her backpack, and she goes, I'm going to call him Dolores, and I'm going to bring him back with me.
Yeah. Okay. And Dolores was cute and cuddly, so all is good,
Yeah,
right?
but the T-Rex was not.
I would not bring a T-Rex back.
So what type of dinosaur then? Let's be specific.
Oh gosh,
Like a Brontosaurus?
I would say a Brontosaurus. They like those.
A Triceratops?
Probably.
An Allosaurus.
A raptor.
Yes.
Oh,
No.
raptors are so mean, Kelsey.
Kelsey.
No.
They
Pterodon.
would destroy the classroom.
The
Pterodactyl?
pterodon in Jack and Annie is very nice.
What
that's
about
right.
the one that like spews out his neck and then he's like spits
Oh,
acid
yeah.
on you?
Oh,
Yeah, don't do that
yeah. I'm not
one.
gonna bring that one.
Oh.
I mean, it's small.
Okay.
Yeah, but nothing scary.
I'm so surprised you would say dinosaurs.
I
I
am a little shocked.
you keep
also.
surprising us today, Kristen.
She's hugging
'Cause it's
people,
not real.
She's interviewing.
I'm not really gonna do it, so I can pretend to be brave.
Anything is possible in an imagination land.
True story.
I'm thinking like a George Washington.
Nice.
That was a pivotal part in our American history, and it'd be kind of cool to be like, hey George, what was it like trying to unite a country that was not united?
That would be cool.
That would be
Yeah.
cool.
All right, Kelsey, who would you go back in time and snatch up?
That's kidnapping.
Okay, Kelsey, who would you go back in time and bring to your class?
I would pick Teddy Roosevelt. Teddy Roosevelt's summer house was on Long Island, and when I was younger, we went there, and it was just really interesting to see where he lived and learn more things about him. So I'd love to ask him some questions.
Okay. Have you ever been in class and a kid has asked you a question about history and you didn't know the answer? And if so, what did you do in that moment?
all the time. No, I'm kidding. Sometimes, when we're doing like the coins, do you ever second guess like the coins who's on there? Like
No.
maybe we don't put that part in. I'm like,
No, I do second guess.
Okay,
Sometimes
I'm
I'm
like-
like, wait, is he on the nickel or the
yeah,
No.
yeah. Even Mount Rushmore, you're like, okay, I know who that one is. Who
The
is
only
that?
one,
guy?
the only one that I know for sure is
Abe.
Hamilton is on the $10 bill.
Well, Benjamin Franklin is on the $100
Oh, because
bill.
people say I want a Benjamin
yeah,
Franklin.
Yeah.
And I only know the $10 bill because it said the $10 founding father without a father.
Oh.
George is on the $1 bill.
And then, well, you're forgetting about the penny.
Pennies don't exist
Yeah.
What's a
anymore.
penny? I don't even know.
Nickel is Thomas Jefferson, right?
Yeah.
Who's the dime? The dime gets me sometimes.
No,
I
the
pretend
time-
like I know all the time. Who is it? See, they're all looking it up.
Is
Like,
it Thomas
short hair.
Jefferson on the time? Oh, it's Franklin D. Roosevelt.
That's right.
On the who's Franklin D. Roosevelt?
He was a
anyway?
president.
I know. I'm just kidding. He was the less cool of the Roosevelts. Just kidding.
What's a memorable social studies lesson that you taught?
I'd have them sit down for the read aloud, and I'd be like, "Okay, guys, this is a true story. Once upon a time, there was this guy," and then I'll tell like the story of a historical figure, and then at the end, I will say, and that person was Teddy Roosevelt or whatever, right? And so like it's not about like me not knowing, but I act like I don't know who it is the whole time, and then at the end I'm like, and guys, that was, whatever. And it's what I pick somebody that they're studying, so I tell them, if you're the surprise person, you can't be a spoiler.
Last week we were talking about neighborhoods and communities in social studies, and we built a little town. That was so much fun. So the students had to choose from like restaurant, house, apartment, police station, fire station, and they colored the little pieces, glued it on to like a brown paper bag. And then I got some butcher paper. I got green for the grass, and then I did black little roads, and we made a little town. So we put the restaurant in a certain spot, we put the school in a certain spot, and then I had some students draw little lines on the black for the road. And then during our Free Friday time, they got little cars and drove around the little town. They had so much fun with it.
It's cute. That reminds me of JA, or Junior Achievement, and I loved partnering with them and having them come into our classrooms. We, in first grade, had a lot of financial literacy standards, and you had to learn about the difference between needs and wants and why it was important to have a job. And then when you have your job, where does your money go, and how do you decide what to spend your money on?
Those are fun lessons.
Yeah.
One of the lessons I remember teaching was the standard about family traditions and different cultures. Each student would send a letter to a family member, and it would ask them to share something that's a tradition or something that has to do with their family's heritage. And they'd send it to the class with a little note about their heritage. And I just remember that was so fun for the kids to be able to open a package in class and share more about their family.
I loved that project.
Me too.
What were some of the coolest things that you got?
I got cookies from Louisiana, shaped like the state Louisiana,
Wow.
and cookies for the whole class.
Wow,
That was
that's
good.
cool. I got a bag of oranges
Oh, that's cool.
that were a little rotten because they sat on the back counter, and I didn't
Oops.
realize there was oranges in the box.
Oh,
Oh, no.
I know.
Oh.
So that was a cool one.
We got real maple syrup that I had to dish out and give everybody a little taste of.
Oh.
that
got-
was fun.
I got some Kansas City barbecue sauce. So I brought in
Ooh.
some little smokies, and we put it in the crock pot, and we
That's
we tried it.
Yum. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We also got honey sticks for every single student. They were beekeepers.
Nice.
We got little wooden pickles, like the tradition of hiding a pickle on the Christmas
Oh,
tree.
yeah.
So I got 25 little wooden pickles.
Aww,
That was
that's
fun.
cute.
That's cool.
I had one person email me and asked for all of my students' names, first names, and so I sent it back to them, and she sent a bookmark with each of their names written in Japanese.
Wow.
cool.
That is really cool.
Yeah, so they got to learn a lot about different people's cultures doing that activity. I liked it.
And we did maps, so it was always a lot of fun to see what state the package or country the package came from.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah, so I'm sitting here going through all my standards literally in my head of all the things that we do in social studies, and we too do a community that we build, and then they have to make it better. They have to improve the community. We too did the cultural thing with reaching out to people and sharing ideas about cultures and all of that. But I think to piggyback off of what Celeste said when she was talking about JA in a day, I think one of my favorite things that I did was we ended up giving the kids all a job, and they all had to make money, earn money, and then they would get fined for things like a messy desk, or they'd have to pay rent for their desk. So they had to exchange money and see how easy money can come in, but also money leaves for different things that you have to have. And so then we met the standard of needs versus wants. They had to learn about the difference between a product and a service. And so they had to pick either a product or a service. And then we had market day, and the kids could spend their money at other people's stores and get products and services. So like some of the things that they would make were like ornaments or bookmarks or paper airplanes. And some of the services was nail, like the little stickers.
set? Oh.
Yeah, like they did the little sticker thing
fun.
where they put the stickers on their nails, and then they filed them down, and it was so cute. Even the secretary came down and got her nails done.
Really?
So it was really cute.
That is cute.
Other people did like braiding each other's hair, and I was like, just don't share combs. One person did face painting. That was fun. It was
That
like,
is
okay,
fun.
stick to a heart or a star. So that was pretty cool.
Being at a K-5 school again has been so fun. You kind of forget what the big kids learn about in social studies. And I love watching our fifth graders learn about the social studies standards that they have. They have a unit where the teachers dress up as the kings and queens, and then they put people in their teams and decide what ship they're on, and then they have to travel across to the Americas, and it's this, they're learning, but they just make it fun.
Yeah, science and social studies are such great subjects to just dive in 100%. What are your guys' favorite science standards?
I don't know, anything with animals. We had a volunteer. Her name was also Allison. She would bring in snake
Chinchilla,
all the things. So of course, I was a little bit freaked out the whole time because she did bring live animals in, but the kids had the best time. I think she let them pet the snake too, so that was a lot of fun.
Our fourth grade team does a really cool unit around energy, their physical science standard. And students make Rube Goldberg machines where they have to get a ball from one point to the other point and they have to design it. And it's really neat. And then they film it and then they have this like movie premiere and the kids get super into it and it's just a lot of fun.
So like what kind of things is like a ball you said and it like drops down and it hits like a piece of wood or something and knocks another ball down
Yeah.
or something like that?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, that's so fun.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Well, I am thinking back when I taught first grade, we used to do a big unit on shadows. There's a standard where there's kind of two different ones. One of make observations at different times of the year to see like where the sun is, and then that you can use the sun, moon, and stars to describe patterns that can be predicted. So when you think about the shadows that can be predicted based on the sun's movement, that we kind of tapped into that. And so I would bring an object for students to take outside. I think one year it was a gnome and one year it was my bear that sits on my front porch. But we would go outside in the morning and trace the shadow and then leave it there all day and then go back in the afternoon and trace it again. And they're like, "What? It moved." I'm like, actually, did it? Did it move or did the sun move? And so it was just a good conversation. And then as follow-up, they would get to bring in a toy that was like a statue-esque, like a G.I. Joe or a Barbie doll or
A dinosaur.
monster truck. Lots of dinosaurs would come in. And then we would hold flashlights and then they would practice being the sun and showing how it could move and how the shadows are impacted by wherever the light's coming from. That was a good one.
I love that.
But along with that standard and learning about the stars, do you remember when we would bring in the star tent?
Oh my gosh.
That
What is it
thing-
called?
the Star Lab?
Star Lab, yes.
So it was like this giant inflatable tent and all the kids could crawl inside and then in the center there was a projector that would shine up onto the walls.
like a dome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it would make it look like the stars were moving.
Yes.
And we learned, it was just so
That was
good.
so fun.
Kids loved that.
We love that. Teachers love that.
That was pretty cool.
Well, we just finished our science unit in second grade, and it has been such a fun unit. We've been talking about Earth changes being slow and fast. So they get to do this experiment where they have like a cornmeal and salt and water, and it mixes up to make almost like a wet sand consistency. And so they put that into different formations or like on their plate, like a hill. And then they have a ruler with a cup on top of the ruler, and there's a hole poked in the bottom of the cup, and then they fill water in there, and it's a drip cup, so it drips water, and then they get to see the effects of erosion. But it doesn't stop there. Then they get 10 toothpicks, 2 pieces of tin foil, some paper towel strips, 10 cotton balls. So they get a set of supplies. And then I tell them, okay, now here's the deal. You are an engineer for I-70, and there's a road right by that hill. We want to stop the erosion and allow the road to be safe for everybody to pass by. So how are you going to stop the erosion? And so then they get a chance to design some way to stop the erosion, and then they get to practice or test it out to see if it holds up or not. And so it's super cool because inevitably somebody will come up and say, "Can I have some more toothpicks, or can I have some more of this?" I said, "Here's the deal. In real world, you get a budget and you have to stay with that budget. So if you're an engineer and you're on a project, you don't get extra supplies a lot of times, and you have to make do with what you have. So this is a real world activity. You're an engineer. You got to make it work." And so what comes out of that, though, is so creative. And I thought to myself, they should really come to second graders and have them give ideas when they come
They should build a road.
Yeah. Well, when like the engineers get stuck and they're like, how are we going to solve this problem? Go to a second grader.
Yeah.
They probably have a really good idea.
I love that. And it reminded me of when we were growing grass. Do you guys remember when we taught first grade and we had different variables like temperature, soil, sunlight, amount of water,
Types of water. I remember
Yes.
one person had different kinds of
like they use
Like
coffee. Didn't they use
coffee and lemonade
Yeah.
and Coca-Cola and
Yeah. Mine was always the temperature. So I would use the heat lamp from the chicks and I would have the lamp on that, which was really bad if I could not remember if I turned the lamp off. So I think I came to school at 2 a.m. one time to see if the plant light was on, and it was
No, you
off.
didn't.
It
Chad
was off.
did.
No, Chad drove me. I got out of the car and ran to the window and I was like, we're good. Thumbs up. Sorry, honey. It's 2 a.m. But one time I had the soil in the fridge and someone cleaned out the fridge and threw away our science experiment.
They're like, soil, why is this in here?
Yeah, but then we had the kids. So I think we had 6 first grade classes that year, and we all had some different variable, and they gave presentations to all of first grade. So it was just a fun way to kind of wrap it up and give them that experience of the scientific process and speaking in front of their grade level. And it was just fun. Science is just fun.
And here's what makes me sad. Science and social studies are fun. They're engaging. There's so much learning to happen. However, I am finding that teachers, it's like the first thing that gets cut when the day gets busy because we've done reading, we've done math. Oh no, we're out of time. And so what gets cut? Science and social studies.
Yeah.
So Allison, what has your school done to ensure that you are integrating those standards into your learning?
We do like interdisciplinary units. So all of our reading is around that science unit. All of our writing is around that science unit. And we also try to do, like when applicable, we can put the math in there as well. So it kind of buys us a little bit more time when we are able to mesh different subjects together. It is hard at times because I am finding, like, if we follow the reading curriculum themes, that we will be missing, like, some standards will get more attention than others. And so, like, then we have to kind of squeeze in other things at other times. But
Yeah, it takes a lot of, I think, planning and coordination to make things mesh.
yeah.
Yeah.
But when you make it work, it is so beautiful. I'm still working on the art of interdisciplinary units because we are still primary. So we still have to explicitly teach grammar, right?
Yeah.
But then, so that like one lesson can be teaching it, but then like the next lesson could be like the science unit, but applying that grammar into the science. Or social studies. You know what I mean? Like, so for an example of that would be learning about quotation marks. And then in social studies, the next day we're talking about somebody famous as a leader. And we have to practice like a quote, writing the quotation from that leader correctly. So,
Love it.
yeah.
Okay, so we've all done some science experiments in our classroom. What was the messiest experience you guys had?
We made slime. No, it wasn't part of our curriculum. It was more at the end of the school year. And I'm like, hey, let's make slime. And so that's science, right?
Oh, man.
And boy, was that messy. And I was by myself, 20 something first graders. And it was very stressful. It didn't work because you definitely need help when you're making slime because it gets everywhere. And the kids are like, I need more of glue. I need more shaving cream. I need more of the activator. Yeah, it didn't work out very well.
That does sound
Do you
messy.
remember? You came in and
Yeah.
cleaned it up for me.
Uh-huh, I helped you with that. It
Dang.
was crazy.
Yeah.
I have a messy one. We were learning about matter and how solids, liquids, and gases exist in the world. And we were doing the experiment where you put the vinegar in the water bottle and you put the baking soda in a balloon and then you put the balloon around the water bottle.
Oh, yeah.
And then lift it up. And then once the baking soda hits the vinegar, the balloon
Yeah. Fills up.
expands and blows up, and you're like, look, it made a gas. But if your balloon has a hole in it, or if you don't get the balloon on the water bottle just right, it can spray the children. Yeah, just that's an FYI for you.
I love it.
I had a similar thing during matter where we had the balloons filled with water and then we had one filled with air and we had one filled with ice. And we were talking about like when you just look at these balloons, you can't really tell what's inside of them. And so then I had them guess what was inside each balloon and then I cut the end and air would come out. I'd cut the end and I'd pop the ice out of it, and then I cut the end of the water one, and it sprayed all over the child sitting in front of me. And he was just sitting there like stunned, like, oh my
My
gosh.
teacher just do that.
Then he laughed, but at first it was almost, I didn't know if we were going to get tears or laughter out of that. And so anyway, like it was such a big deal that we did that in the fall, and at the end of the year when we were like wrapping up the year, we were like, what are some of your favorite memories? And this kid was like, when you gave me a shower in the middle of class. So it was a big memorable experience for them.
That's awesome.
That is awesome.
I just thought of another activity that I did, and I don't know what it was connected to.
What was it?
Maybe our penguin unit. And I made a Ziploc baggie filled with Crisco, and then another Ziploc baggie. So it was like Ziploc,
blubber?
Crisco,
Yeah.
Ziploc. And you made like a little mitten that they could put their hand into, right? And so then you had the bucket of ice, and you'd say, put your hand in the ice. And they're like, oh, it's so cold. And you're like, I know. But watch, this is what helps polar bears and seals and penguins. So
Yeah.
then they'd put their hand in the blubber and then put it back in the water. And they're like, I don't feel the cold. I'm like, I know,
Oh, that's
so
cool.
Huh.
You're fun. I did not do that. I do remember second grade making ice cream.
Yes, we would. That's how we would wrap up our summer.
Yeah.
Like in September, when September 21st or 22nd, we would always make ice cream, turning a liquid to a solid.
Shake, shake, shake.
Okay, ready, ladies? Rapid fire. What's your preference? If you could only teach one for the rest of your life, what would it be? Science or social studies?
Science.
Social studies.
Science.
Oh. Okay, experiments. Do you follow the directions exactly, or let's see what happens?
Exactly.
Let's see what happens.
I'm not surprised. I
You're
know
not
how we
surprised.
were going to answer that one.
Okay, field trips. Do you like going to the local zoo or a historical museum?
Zoo.
Zoo.
They're both stressful. I don't know.
That's true.
Museum.
They're more contained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not as excited. The zoo, they're like, whoo, this is so fun.
That's why I would like it. I love the historical museum here in town.
Yeah.
It is amazing. And so I was teetering on that. I was going to say that. But the zoo, the kids would be way more excited to go
Engaged
and
and-
engaged.
yeah.
And, you know, I love seeing a good monkey. So it's all good.
Love it. Okay, science fair. Love it or leave it.
Love
Leave
it.
it. It's all parents. Leave it.
Okay, well, I wasn't picturing like the olden day science fair. I thought like in our classroom they can pick an experiment and go for it.
Okay.
I'd say yes, do it.
Okay. Got it.
Fair.
Okay, social studies. Focus on local community or ancient civilizations. What do you like to teach?
Local.
I would say
Community.
local.
Local. Well, I think that comes with being primary too. Like
Yeah.
that's more our standards as local community.
Yep.
Okay, Bill Nye or Magic School Bus?
Ooh.
Jump on the magic school bus.
Same. Magic
Yeah.
school bus.
Bill Nye the
Science guy. Yeah, I think it would be Bill.
Okay.
Yeah.
You go by Bill. You guys are.
Well, yeah, him and I are
Good
tight.
buddies.
All right, listeners. So today we jumped on the science and social studies train, and we talked about what were some of our favorite experiments, who we'd bring back from the past, and just what a joy it is to teach these subjects and how important it is to make sure that you integrate it into your day no matter what. So make sure you're teaching those science and social studies standards.
Okay, your challenge this week is to get messy. Do those science experiments. Build that little town. Have fun with your students.
And when you do bring that learning to life, we want to hear from you. So tag us on Instagram at Teachers on the Loose or on TikTok at TeachersOTL and share your story.
Thanks for hanging out with us today. And remember, you aren't just teaching facts, you're teaching kids how to be curious about the world they live in.
So grab your favorite lab coat and meet us back here next week on Teachers on the Loose.
This is Teachers on the Loose.
Growing up, we used to go to Teddy Roosevelt's house on Long Island.
What?
Just
It
like on
was-
the weekend? Like, what do you mean?
Not like every weekend. like, you
We
know,
were like, we would go to his house.
we like it was
I
like
hung
a
out with
summer
Teddy.
thing. We'd like, you know, go and
Let's
see.
go to Teddy's house. Uncle Ted.
Sometimes I go to Roosevelt National Park when I
Yeah.
think about him.
Do not.
I do too. Roosevelt National Park is right there. And then when I go hiking I think of Teddy and I say, thanks for making sure that our land and our national parks are here because I love nature.
This is true.
Just
That makes sense. That does make sense. Sorry.
He described the experience of being in North Dakota as a foundation of his presidency and the most important educational asset of his whole life. I'm just saying.
I mean, wow.
Yep.